of the most iconic voices in golf are back to save the day and ready to entertain in their newly weekly video podcast. Kostis and McCord, off their rocker.
And welcome to Kostis and McCord, off their rockers. We have got, well, it's a pretty great episode for you today, if I do say so myself. Mike Abram here with you. I'm the producer, and Peter and Gary are back with us today with a very special guest, David Feherty, their old buddy, David Feherty, from CBS, NBC, Golf Channel, stand-up comedy, and of course now with Live Golf. And to get a little learning to improve your game today, of course, Peter's going to be back with some tips for you and your game, and he's going to show Gary a thing or two. Maybe it'll help your game as well. And then the guys are going to have a spirited discussion on the Netflix docuseries Full Swing. And I'm sure you've probably seen it by now, but the Netflix docuseries Full Swing was announced to have a second season coming up next year, and we'll be talking about that as well. Hey, wanted to make sure that you like, subscribe, and share with your buddies on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@KostisMcCord. And Peter wants to make sure that you get any tips that you want. You send them right here. You can send them to on Twitter, Kostis and McCord on Twitter, or to KostisMcCord@gmail.com. And also, please, in our comment section, we've been getting some great comments from everybody that you're really enjoying the shows. Keep sending us those comments. The guys and I read them, so we'll look forward to hearing what you want to see on Kostis and McCord off their rockers. Thanks to our presenting sponsor, Swing U. Remember to go to the App Store, download for free incredible strokes gain information that can really help your game and some swing tips as well. So without delay, let's get you out to Peter, Gary, and the great David Feherty right here on Kostis and McCord off their rockers.
Gary, this is Back to the Future. We have a special guest today, kind of reuniting the old band, as it were.
Mm-hmm. Really old band.
Yeah. Our special guest, David Feherty. Welcome, Mr. Feherty.
Yeah, well, I'm fine. You two look like Waldorf and Statler in the Muppets, you know?
That's an upgrade.
He attacked us already. It didn't take 2 seconds. Jesus. So how you doing? Where are you right now?
I am down at Dove Mountain in Tucson at the Ritz-Hampton on the balcony of my room.
So you guys start on Friday. What as you're now as an announce crew, are you the same we did with CBS and NBC? Do you guys have meetings and all that crap?
You know, we got a meeting this morning, but you know, it's a bit of a bun fight. You know, the meetings are a hoot.
Okay, just like we had our meetings, right? We didn't have meetings.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, we get a couple of meetings each week, but they're kind of fun.
Now, tell me, how do you like Live? How do you like the whole process?
Oh, it's been amazing. You know, since I joined, you know, in the middle of last year, I kind of came on board midstream, right after the Open Championship, and it's just been amazing. Everything's so first class, and they really take care of us. And we have the feeling, you know, like the players and the broadcasters and the rules officials and the spectators, like we're all in this together. Feels like a bit of a pirate ship.
Well, you know, we only have you for a few minutes, and from my perspective, I really miss seeing you. I miss our time together at CBS, and I have stories that come to the forefront periodically, and one of my favorites was you and me, Bob May, Tiger Woods playoff, Valhalla.
Oh yes,
Gold.
yes, I do.
Gold Bond?
We rode out in the cart to the 16th tee for the 3-hole playoff, and it was like 100 degrees.
Yeah, it was.
And we went underneath, at your request, we went underneath the bleachers before anybody got there, and you brought a bottle of Gold Bond. Do you remember that?
I do. I remember it now. Yeah.
And after applying the Gold Bond, we walked out. And who did we meet?
I think
Terry Ewert.
Terry Ewert, who was the executive producer at the time at CBS, as I recall.
And he was really excited about the playoff, and he wanted to shake your hand.
Yeah. Well, and I had just had a handful of Gold Bond powder, which I had liberally applied to my rusty bullet hole. And unfortunately, Terry stuck his hand out to shake hands, and I didn't think, I just sort of clapped hands with him, and there was an enormous, bitter little fart cloud of Gold Bond powder that wafted through the air. Yeah.
I remember, David, I remember I used to catch you guys, the guys on the ground, you and Kostis. I always caught you guys like hiding under a tree, not following the group. Do you remember the 16th hole at Riviera, that par 3? And I looked down and you're on the tee and the guys hit it on the green and I see you beeline for the Porta-John over on the right-hand side. So now we go and David has still not come out of the Porta-John. And now I get over, he's got about, I think it was Freddie Couples, had about a 15-footer. And I'm looking at it, and Feherty is not out of the John. I said, David, I know you're down there. You've looked at this putt. What's it look like? And now muffled from the inside of a Porta-John, he says, well, from my point of view, it's real long and straight. Do you remember that? And I couldn't go any farther. And Lance, our producer, got on your ass. What kind of audio is that? Where are you? And you said, I'm in the Porta-John taking a piss.
I lied. It's actually really short and it's bent.
The line was fantastic, though, at the right time. Do you remember this one? We were at Firestone. I was on the 16th hole. You were following Tiger Woods on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And I went back to the compound after Tiger went through my hole, and you told me, stay in the compound, you got to take me back to the hotel. Do you remember this story? You said, you came back to the compound, you said, did you see the last couple of holes? I said, no, I was in the trucks. You said, you have a club, a wedge, and a golf ball. Do you remember that story?
No.
Okay. So we go back out. Tiger had hit it in the left crap over there.
On 18.
On 18. And this is the one where Ernie Els walked behind you live on the air after watching the shot.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead. Help me with that now.
Well, Tiger had 184 yards from the worst lie that I had seen all week. And, both Peter and I got caught out on occasions, predicting what might happen, because that was our job, to tell you what any given player might do at any given time. And Tiger would just do things that were so outrageous. I look over at Steve Williams and I'm standing right beside Ernie. I'm almost leaning on him. They're tied. And I switched my microphone on. It was Watkins had the call at 18. He said, well, what's he got, David? And I said, well, Lanny, if you gave me a stick of dynamite on my sand wedge, I might be able to move this 50 yards. He's going to chop this out to the right so that he can get a look at the flag in the back left. And I look over at Steve Williams, and Steve Williams gives me his fist, for pitching wedge. I think, oh, thank God. He's not going to make me look like an idiot here. But he made one of those swings that only he could make. He made a swing, and I thought, oh, my God, he must have torn his sack. His right leg came free. One of his shoes flew off. There was like a cubic meter of Ohio came out with a couple of dead worms and a snail in it. And I look over just in time to see the ball sailing over the big red oak in front of the green there. And it lands behind the hole like a sack of wet assholes. I flipped my microphone on to go mea culpa. I didn't see that coming. Just as Ernie turns his head to me and said, fuck me. And, and then Ernie looked at me Ernie looks at me and he looks at the microphone and he whispers, "Is that on?" I said, "Not anymore," because, Peter and I were, our opinions were valid most of the time. But if you wanted, an opinion of that shot, the next best player in the world was Ernie Els, and that was his opinion of that shot. It was about as accurate a report as you could get.
I remember you told me you put the ball down right next to the divot, and you said you'd give me $100 if I could hit it to the fairway, which was what, 30 yards? And I couldn't move the ball. If you remember, I couldn't. I passed. I said I can't move that ball 30 yards out of this lie, and he hit that ball 192 with about a 30-yard hook.
Yeah.
I give. Yeah. No. What was the best shot you ever saw him hit, Tiger Woods?
The bet, he argues about this, but I think, given the moment and of the 20 best shots I've ever seen, he probably has 15 of them. But the chip in from behind 16 at Augusta, was extraordinary. But at what do you call the golf course in Minnesota where Rich Beam won the Hazeltine?
The 3-iron.
The ninth hole at Hazeltine, he hit it into a bunker, his tee shot, and it was lying well below his feet. He was standing outside the bunker with a 3-iron, and with the ball below your feet, way below your feet like that, it's almost impossible to hit a hook. You've got to try and chop it out of there. And he picked it clean and hit a high hook with a 3-iron to about 8 feet from the hole there, that I thought was the most remarkable thing that I've ever seen. Just the athleticism and the ability to put the club, where he needed it to be and in the direction he needed it to go. There was never anybody like that.
David, I was fortunate enough to see in person Seve's 3-wood at the Ryder Cup in 1981 in Palm Beach Gardens. That was in my opinion was the best golf shot I ever saw.
Yeah, out of the bunker.
That out of the bunker with a 3-wood, sliced it probably 60 yards, and that 3-iron of Tiger out of that fairway bunker was, just a nano bit behind that shot of Seve's. That was an incredible shot Tiger hit.
Yeah, and he hit so many of them, and made us look like idiots. Which we could perfectly.
Which wasn't difficult to do.
Not at all. And did it. Hey, Feherty, tell us the story, speaking of Tiger. I think it was a Saturday, and it was in Charlotte when it was a very hot, moist day. And if I'll set this up by telling everybody out there, when we go to commercial break, the producer then has Jim Nance call everybody in to see if they're there, because sometimes somebody takes a walk and we got to be ready to go. And everybody had their little ID of coming back on the air, and yours was, because you are prolific with flatulence, you would stick the microphone down below and let a signal go. And that signal that day, if you can remember, is Saturday. You were with Tiger. It came with the abrupt. I remember it was and then and then we went right to 15. David, can you take us from that all the way through?
It was the 15th hole, and we were engaged in one of our juvenile farting contests, and which I never beat him. I never beat him at anything. I played.
And this is Tiger.
With him. And, I decided to go for a drive-by, and I figured that it was, so I just sort of sidled past him and I went for 2. But it turned out to be only 1. And it wasn't entirely a fart, shall we say. No, it was about 95 degrees and 80% humidity. Yeah. And, it wasn't one of the, I think, well, I'll walk this off, because the worst thing you could do is go in and But, I'm walking up the hill at 15, the big par 5. And by the time I get to the green, my ass looks like the Japanese flag. It's like a pulsating, broken strawberry. And So we play the next 3 holes, and I'm walking like Gary Cooper, who just got off a horse, and we're right up against 60 minutes. And I've got him in a lockdown camera situation, where we've got our marks and we can't move. And I'm waiting for Jim Nance to throw it to me. And I'm really praying that we run out of time so that I don't have to interview him. And we're standing sort of side by side, and he looks at me and he kind of sniffs. He says, "Did you fart?" And I looked at him and I said, "Technically, no." And he said, "Oh, you can't." And right at that moment, Nance throws it down to me, and he says, "You've got to go clean yourself up." And I said, "I'm not sure if I'm finished yet." And he doubled up. He doubled up and went out of the frame. He went out of the frame. So I've got him by his belt, the back of his belt, and I'm trying to pull him up, make him stand upright, but he's blown a snot bubble, and Lance, our producer, is screaming at me, "What the hell is wrong with you? You're on national television." Jesus Christ. It's a nightmare. It was a good sport. It was always a good sport.
Peter, you better take.
No, that's.
I think that's probably the end of the interview.
Yeah,
there.
that's it. Yeah. There was another drive-by in Flint, Michigan, as I remember as well.
That's the loudest one I ever heard.
In Flint, that was the fart heard around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never threw me under the bus for that one. He got blamed for it, and he never threw me under the bus.
I remember you were going to that little private airport there, and you're flying out somewhere right after that incident. I called you, and I said, "Tell me that wasn't you." And you go, "Don't tell a soul, I'll get fired." The great fart conspiracy. Well, listen, David, good luck to you. We love you, and you guys, you have a good time out there on Live. And Peter, why don't you read that?
David, can we get a quick thought from you about the PGA Tour's new designated events and what that might be a reaction to?
Well, I think there's a lot of PGA Tour players that have lived to thank for the much better situation they find themselves in now. I mean, Rory Sabatini, for instance, who is, I believe, has retained his card because of some of the live defections. Does he have to donate half of his OWGR points to say, I don't know, James Pyatt? I think that's only fair. Maybe some of his FedEx points as well.
Well, David, it's an absolute pleasure to see you again, buddy. Miss you.
Yeah, I miss you too. Love you both. I miss everybody.
Well, have a good time in Tucson this week. Hopefully the weather will cooperate and you guys will have a great show.
All right. Thanks, buddies.
Take care.
Travel safe, my friend.
Well, Gary, that was about what we expected.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, from my perspective, I really miss David. I miss the times we had together. I miss the stories. I miss the laughs. I miss the television coverage that we put forth that I think was pretty doggone good. But mostly I miss the stories.
Yeah, the stories, especially with David, it is, I mean, literally the stories are it's so plural, it's unbelievable because it's just one after another and you incite the riot with one and then you go, oh, how about this one? I remember this one. But to get, I love picking on you guys because and I'm talking guys on the ground, the guys that are really working the hardest when it's raining out or it's hot and we're sitting over the towers and I'm getting these guys and I'm watching them sitting underneath the tree, not even close to where the action was, and then calling them out of lies, of putting lines and everything else. It was fantastic. I've never had so much fun doing that. I remember one day. The last one, remember Hilton Head? You and I and David stayed.
Was this when he went bike riding?
Yes. We always stayed in this house on the 16th hole.
Yeah.
And David would always bring his bike. And when David would go riding on his bike for his 25 to 50 mile ventures, he would start at 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
And so this one particular morning, he came back at about 6:25, and he's all ragged, and his shirt's cut, and it's sliced, and his pants, one leg is rolled up. And he comes in, and he goes, "Wow, that was unbelievable." So what happened? He goes, "I was riding down the road. Of course, it's pitch dark,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
In the Hilton Head. He didn't know where he's going. And he said he hit this acorn or something, and it deflected the bike down into a gully next to the road. And he got all cut up and everything. And then he said, "I'll be all right. I'll go wash up." And if you remember, about an hour later, he comes in, he goes, "Guys, what's this look like to you?"
What's this?
And he's got this rash all over him. And by the minute, the rash started to really engulf him.
Yeah.
And then we figured out that he'd got poison ivy. And we're on the air that day.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yep.
So we go down to the store and we get this salve, and we got the bandages
Yep.
that you wrap.
Wrapped him up.
Wrapped him up like a mummy.
Yep.
He was infected everywhere. I'm saying everywhere. And we wrapped him up, and he got out there, and he's walking down the fairway. He looked like a frickin' mummy. And the poor guy, he couldn't get the microphone because we got this too tight. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he tried to get the mic up, and he couldn't get it there. And I never laughed so hard in my life. I couldn't wait to throw it down to him for him to give us a yardage or something.
You know,
Oh my God, it was funny.
Gary McCord and empathy should never be used in the same sentence.
No, that's
ever.
true. That's true.
Well, it was great to catch up with him. Hopefully, we'll get to do it again in the not too distant future.
Yeah, we will.
And on to the next segment.
More stories.
Don't go away, because when we come back on Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers, Peter's got some great tips that he'll show you that can help strengthen and improve your golf game. And then we'll have the discussion about the Netflix docuseries Full Swing. And remember, send your request for any tips right to us at kostismccord@gmail.com or on Twitter. Tweet us, Kostis and McCord. Like, subscribe, and share at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@KostisMcCord. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers is presented by Swing U. Check out the incredible Swing U app. It gives you great GPS course data from tee to green, and including green reading. And you know, even simple strokes gain features can help you improve your game. So go out and check on the App Store or at swingu.com. It's a great app. It'll shave strokes off your game.
Visit our website at kostismccord.com. Like and subscribe at our YouTube channel and on any social media, Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers. Now it's time for Coach Kostis. Peter gives us some great tips to help our games.
Peter,
What?
come here for a second. You're not busy, are you?
No, evidently not.
Okay. It's not going to cost me anything either, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, it
Yeah,
usually
okay.
does in the end. All right. Again, I'm getting to that age where it doesn't go as far off the tee as I'd like.
Yeah.
210 I hate.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to get it at least 240 or 250. You got anything for me?
Yeah. Basically, if you want to hit the ball farther,
Yeah.
however you do it, the hands and arms have to be swung faster. Now, the
Okay.
body is really important in
Okay.
that equation, but we got to get more arm speed.
All right.
And I see a lot of people, that's why I got this 6-pound med ball that I use in my teaching.
Okay.
Because most people get up here, and when they start their swing, they just unwind with their body, and
Right.
they go over the top, they go around, and then they get,
Okay.
they don't know how to break the arms loose from the shoulders. So I use this drill, and it's really important. You get all the way back and slam it down.
Vertical. Just,
And you'll notice that when I slam it down, I'm loading into the ground, which is going to get me ready
Okay.
to react. But I'm
Okay.
not worried about that. I'm just trying to take the ball back, slam it, right?
Okay.
So that's drill number one. Come
All
over
right.
here and try it.
all right. So I'm going to take my stance, kind of where I'm going.
Yep.
I'm going to go back
Big full turn.
I'm gonna go
and
back
you're going to slam it right down
right
by
there
your
and
foot.
hopefully catch it. So I'm going to go here
Yep.
and then slam it.
Turn, stay turned, slam it. Make a
The
golf
higher,
backswing.
the higher it goes, probably. Yeah, I feel my arms go much faster.
See, this will stay back. There you go. Feel your arms breaking loose?
Yes, yes.
Good.
Okay,
All right, so this is the first drill.
okay.
Go ahead.
Want me to hit one?
Hit one now and get that sensation.
All right.
Get the feeling that your arms are going to break loose while you stay turned.
Ooh. The hell? What happened?
Okay, that's
that
stage,
was different.
That's stage one.
That was different. Okay.
Now, do me a favor.
Yeah.
And stand out there.
Stand out here. Oh, this ought to be, oh, good, not the club.
Right there.
Okay.
So I got the breaking loose from the top. Now we got to get the arms and the body rotating through it correctly. That's critically
what do
important.
most of our buddies do?
They either get here and go with the body first,
okay.
or they get here and the arms go and the body doesn't go, but they don't get the body and the arms connected.
Okay.
Back up about 3 steps. There you go, right there.
Okay.
Now this drill, you're going to go back, and instead of slamming the ball, you're going to drop it and catch it.
Okay.
And then from there, see how I'm still loaded into my right leg?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to learn how to rotate and get the ball going with my body.
So why, let me ask you a question. So why are you dropping and catching here? What's that do?
Because I don't want the throw to come from up here.
I see.
Too many people don't know how to use their lower body, upper body correctly.
Okay.
So I want you to get here. We're going to drop and rotate and release.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Do it
So we're
once.
going here, drop, rotate, and release.
Okay.
Back again. If you do it correctly, you're going to throw a knuckleball. So you're not going to see this thing spinning. So you do here, here. See how that was a knuckleball?
Yeah. So you don't want the ball coming in like
Correct.
that, because
if I get it
then
out
you're
of
coming up.
if I get it out of sequence and I try to fix it with my hands, it's going to be spinning.
Interesting. That's interesting.
That's no good.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So let's do it one more time.
Okay.
Turn, drop, rotate.
Good. Knuckleball.
Okay,
Perfect.
you do it. I'll catch.
Okay. Now this could be coming really fast.
Yeah,
I've been working out, as you know. You can see the guns. Okay, so I'm going to go back. I'm going to drop.
Just go
and then go boom.
Go back into your golf position. Don't go up over your head like that.
Okay.
Just go back into your golf position. Turn, drop, catch, rotate. Little bit of spin, which means your body was leading too much. Go ahead, do it again.
Okay. Okay. Back, drop.
There you go. Much better. Rotate from down below.
I see. There is a definite feeling that I am now throwing with my body, rotating with my arms.
Correct.
And instead of out here,
Yep.
I don't know where that would go if I threw it.
It would probably go over
Probably
there.
that went spinning like a son of a bitch.
Okay,
Okay, so I'm going to go back, I'm going to drop,
and rotate.
and then I'm going to rotate.
Good. Now do one, get that same sensation without the drop, but just go ahead and do it. One motion.
Without the drop?
Yep, just let your arms drop, but don't let go of the ball.
And then go. Okay, I see. Okay. So I'm going to come up, boom.
Perfect.
Okay.
Now you got that feeling?
Yeah.
There you go. Just repeat the feeling. Don't think. Well, I shouldn't have to say that to you.
You know me. Squirrel! Okay.
Turn, drop, rotate. How's that?
190-yard 8-iron? That's pretty good. I need a bigger ball.
Now go get your driver. See that ball flight, Gary's a little low.
It is a little low. I can't get any spin on it. It's just going low and
the key to distance is high launch, low spin.
Okay, yeah, right.
You don't have the high launch.
Right.
And especially as we get older,
Right.
you and me,
Yeah.
we're old, fine.
We
deal with
are
it.
old.
We have to learn how to make sure that we rotate our body correctly to get a high enough launch angle.
Okay.
Okay. So do me a favor.
Yep.
Just stand right there.
Okay. So what am I? So explain, what am I trying to do? I'm leaning too much with my upper torso.
Yeah, your upper body is getting over here. A little bit of slide, a little bit of lean on it.
All right.
And that's going to take loft off the
Yes, no
club.
question.
Hit it low.
Got it. Okay.
So again, I'll use my
All right.
6-pound ball. Right.
Where do you want me?
You stay right there.
All right.
Yeah, right there.
Okay.
What I'd like to have happen is we're going to now turn, let the arms drop in front.
Yeah.
We're going to rotate.
Yeah.
But instead of throwing the ball out there,
Right.
I'm going to throw the ball back up as high as I can over my shoulders. So you're going to go here, here, and there.
Oh, I got it. I got it.
Okay?
Okay.
And now you see what's going to happen.
What's that doing?
As I have, in order for me to throw it correctly, I have to maintain my spine angle,
Right.
tilt, and let the arms go up. I can't lean on it,
Got it,
because then
okay.
all I can do is
understand it.
flick it with my wrist.
So is that why we're seeing the tour pros, when they're hitting shots, basically they get to here and then they go up and it looks like their belly is out in front and they're leaning backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what that spine tilt to the right is what gets you launch angle.
Perfect.
Right.
Got
So
it.
I want you to get the experience of
Okay.
going back here, down, and then
Okay.
rotate, throw it as high as
Got
you
it.
possibly can.
Got it.
And you'll
Okay.
feel yourself staying back.
Okay.
All right? So you do that a couple times.
And just make basically
Golf swing, back
a swing
swing.
like this and go.
Yeah, but when you do it,
What's the chance I hit the cameraman or somebody else here?
pretty
good,
probably.
okay.
When you do it, go follow through.
Okay.
When you're going to stay here.
Yeah.
No, you're going to stay tilted this way a little
Okay,
bit more.
so side tilt and
and you're going
back
to throw
tilt.
it. You're going to throw it.
Got it.
Over this side of your head,
Over
like
that
your golf
side.
swing would be.
Okay.
Your golf swing doesn't go over your
Okay,
head like
so
that.
I was cheating then. So I've got to go here, tilt, and then throw
There
it back.
you go.
Yeah, I got
There
it.
you
Okay.
go.
Here, tilt. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Everybody ready? We're ready. That's for insurance purposes only. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there.
Nope. Higher.
Higher, up. Oh, okay. I'm going to go here.
High as you can. Right up over here.
Here.
There you go. And if you keep doing it, do it again. I'm not going to catch this one.
Let's see
Here you
where
go.
I am.
Do it again.
Yeah, I feel I'm going backwards.
Do it again one more time.
Okay, I'm going to go here, here. Yeah,
Do it again.
got it. Belt's going out
Good.
that way.
There
it's
you
going that
go.
way.
There's what we're looking
Okay.
for.
Ready? Here it comes, boss. Here it comes. God, that felt great. I looked like the guy on the top of the golf trophies. What? No? No.
Okay.
What?
Tee one up. Do you feel it? Do you feel your spine tilt being
No,
different?
I feel it right back there. Yeah.
All right. Tee one up.
Here we go. I'm going to hit bombs now. Okay, so I'm just going to just now swing just like that ball.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean
Now,
back.
Now the thing is, Gary,
Yeah.
go ahead and set up.
Okay.
You're going to feel like you're holding the ball. The grip is the ball now.
Got it.
So when you swing back and you swing through, you're going to throw the ball up
Got
over
it.
the shoulder.
Got it.
Right?
Got it. Okay.
Let's see if
Watch
we can't
this.
get a little bit better launch angle.
This is going to be a bomb. This is going to be a bomb.
See, that's almost 50% higher. All right, so let's.
That was pretty good. I felt that.
I like that. You see
Yeah,
the difference?
I felt it. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so stand there. It's fine.
Okay.
Let's summarize the 3 drills
Okay.
in order.
Okay.
We're going to go back and we're going to slam.
Got it.
And that slam breaks the arms loose.
Yep.
Golf swing is
And
3
then I know
levers.
what's coming up next. Okay.
The golf swing is 3 levers, and this arm lever is really important. But if it's locked to your shoulder, it's not really a lever anymore.
Okay.
So you got to learn to slam first.
Got it.
Number 2,
Okay.
we're going to learn to drop, catch, which is just like the slam,
Yeah.
except we're not going to let go.
Yeah.
We're going to drop, catch, and rotate.
Got it.
So that
No
we
spin.
get the arms staying in front of the body.
Got it.
And there's no spin on the ball. It's
Okay.
a knuckle ball.
Got
So
it.
it's here, drop, rotate.
Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect. I like that.
That's what you do for every club
right.
when the ball's on the ground.
Right. And then the
Now
last
the one ball that we tee up is the driver.
Okay.
And so instead of going through this way and maintaining our normal spine angle, we have to get some what we call secondary tilt. We have to get back here a little bit, feel like it's going to go up, and we have to learn to drop, rotate, and throw it high.
Got it.
Right?
Got it.
So
Yep.
that's for the driver.
That was
so there's
good.
your 3 drills. Learn them. So that's it. I use a 6-pound ball for men. You don't need to go any heavier than that. Ladies use a 4-pound ball max, okay? And what you're going to learn from this is you're going to get the sensation of what it's like to, number 1, break the arms loose so you can get some arm speed. Number 2, learn to coordinate your arms and your body and rotate correctly. And number 3, differentiate between swings where you hit down on the ball and swings where you hit up on the ball. So that's it. 3 drills for more yardage.
Stay tuned on Kostis and McCord, because when we come back, Peter and Gary will have a little point-counterpoint debate on the new Netflix series Full Swing. Kostis and McCord off their rockers, presented by Swing U. We'll be right back.
Strokes gain stats are finally easy with the most 5-star rated golf app in the country. Swing U accurately and objectively provides feedback across driving, approach shots, chipping and pitching, bunker play, and putting. Easily identify your strengths and weaknesses and laser focus your practice time so you can quickly shave strokes off your score. Download Swing U and start owning your game today.
Visit our website at KostisMcCord.com, like and subscribe at our YouTube channel, and on any social media, Kostis and McCord, off their rockers. A big buzz in the golf world has been this Netflix docuseries Full Swing. A lot of the great players, a lot of the interaction with Liv, and really getting behind the scenes and seeing some of the great episodes. I hope you got a chance to see it. There's some really great ones out there. But we had a chance, Gary and Peter, to discuss what they liked and what they didn't like about Full Swing. So here they are, Peter and Gary, Kostis and McCord off their rockers, discussing the Full Swing docuseries about the PGA Tour and some Liv players.
But now the other thing that's on TV is the new Netflix series Full Swing. And it's produced by the same entity, Netflix, that did Drive to Survive. So, Gary, have you watched Full Swing?
Yes.
And?
Well, from the broad stroke, what a great way to market the tour, especially in these volatile times when things are going nuts, and you've got Netflix coming out with taking your sport and going through eight episodes, the initial 8 episodes, to kind of paint a portrait of what's going on to the guy that watches golf all the time and to the novice that are just tuning in to go, okay, what's this all about? To find out what pars and birdies are and what making the cut means, to a more sophisticated, watching Jordan Spieth and JT interact as buddies on the tour and how to get through the tour and what's going on. I think it really is going to help the marketing of the tour and really put some new eyes, I believe, on golf, whether you want to watch Live, whether you want to watch PGA Tour, whatever. But it is really inciting the riot with golf, and I think it's great. No matter they'll figure out production wise what they're doing, everything. But when I looked at it, I went, boy, those guys, they've got cameras inside. They've got cameras in the guys' lockers. They are not letting them go, and they've got access everywhere, which is good, because that means to me they are going to get very intimate with the relationship between the viewer and the player, and I think it's fantastic. I thought the whole thing was really good. I know there's some stuff that, okay, that's good, that's not so good, but they'll figure that out. I think they did a great job of, putting the show ponies up there, Jordan and them, and then going to Joel Damon and his caddy, which was the total antithesis of golf and those people that live in mansions and fly jets, and ones that live in motorhomes and travel with a Honda that's 20 years old. So I thought that was good. I thought the overall was really good on it.
Well, okay, that Gary has made his point, and I think it's a valid point. I guess my job is to provide the counterpoint now. And so I watched episode 1, and I texted you, Mike, and I said, let's play a drinking game. Have a drink every time you see somebody in a private jet. And
there was a lot of that for sure.
I don't think you're going to make it through the telecast.
No.
But, all of Gary's points were very valid. My counterpoint, I watched Drive to Survive, which is where this all originated with Formula One. And they went inside, and it was teams, but they interviewed everybody. They interviewed the drivers. They interviewed the principals of the teams. Everybody. They went deep into the telecast, and the people came away knowing more about Formula One and all that's involved in it, and so on. I felt like in this telecast, they didn't go deep enough. They didn't interview, for example, in the Live versus PGA Tour stuff, a lot of it was subtle jabs, like showing Ian Poulter throwing a club, and then picking seriously some of the best guys, personality-wise and people-wise, to ever play on the PGA Tour to show, what, PGA Tour is good, Live is evil. I thought that was childish a little bit, but they could have interviewed the managers or the agents of the players that decided to go to live, to really show the difference and why they went, and get in deeper with it. I sense that there is a whole lot of footage that was captured in the course of the year that for some reason, and this is only speculation on my part, the PGA Tour didn't allow it to be aired. I think it could have been a lot better production if they'd have gone deeper into the controversy of
But Peter,
2022.
don't you think this is an outline of what they're going to try to do. And this is just the first salvo of the series. They're going to get into all that. They're going to push, they're going to pull. This is just again, a broad stroke of what they are trying to accomplish. So all that stuff you're talking about, I guarantee you they get there in the next couple, 3, 4, 5 series that they're going to do.
Well, Gary, I have yet to see the tour be transparent about anything.
Well,
I mean,
their cameras, their cameras were in private planes and everything else that the tour is not really going to have any say on.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know the relationship between Netflix and the PGA Tour on this series, but I get the sense that somebody put their thumb on the scale. That's my opinion. And it doesn't take away from the fact that, Tony Finau, absolutely. I mean, you won't find a better person on the face of the earth, better family man. Same with all the players they put up there. But just show the good of the PGA Tour, but also show the other side. I think it'll make things a lot more interesting for the viewer. I know I'm too close to it, but I didn't watch anything that made me want to tune in and watch a PGA Tour event.
Well, I thought it was the whole thing was interesting. You think Brooks Koepka was this big tough guy that bring on the majors, I'm going to win, and he's just going to bicep you out of the way the whole time and step on your throat. And then I watched this poor guy that was literally lost in his own feces, talking about how bad he's playing and he can't get out of it and he can't beat Scotty Scheffler. And I'm going to sit in my mansion and figure out what am I going to do now? It was so vulnerable. It was frightening to watch because everybody who's played this game knows those depths. You just don't sit your pool in front of a mansion and think about it. Most of us, we're thinking about it in the back of your car, trying to figure out how to get to the next tournament. But it's there. That's a relevant thing. You play well, and you think you'll never play bad again, and now you're at the bottom. And where in the hell is the light coming at you? It's probably a train in the tunnel at this particular point. It's not the light at the end of the tunnel. So we've all been there, but to watch a guy like that accomplished. And just bullied his way through the majors to mentally be so frail. I've never thought I'd feel sorry for Brooks, but I feel sorry for him for where he is. And the fact that as of now, and I just missed a cut somewhere where he shouldn't have missed a cut in Asia or something playing. And it's like, dude, you got to pull out of this. But I thought that was great. I thought, the Tony Finau thing, the Joel Damon thing, Scotty Scheffler came off as an all shucks, really good player with a lot of talent and just playing the game the way you should, like you were 10 years old again. So I thought it went through quite a spectrum of emotions and abilities and lifestyles.
I think Joel Damon and Gino would be fun to have on the podcast, guys, and have you talk to them about not only what their relationship and what they're going through, but what it was like having Netflix literally being there with you for months at a time, following you around like that was pretty, I don't know if you get used to it.
Yeah, again, you're showing the vulnerabilities, of guys you watch on television, which you think have no chinks in the armor. And then you watch a series like this, which really puts a camera in front of your face when you don't really need it, after you've, like Mito Pereira, after he double bogeyed the last hole to win a freaking major. on just a series of cataclysmic decisions that were bad. And to do that, and then, stick a camera in the guy's face and right behind him and watch him react, that's hard to do. That's hard to take. It's hard to do that whole process. That's why I like the Netflix deal. It shows you when you're vulnerable, and it shows you what we all have gone through and go through. Obviously, those guys are at the top of the food chain, a lot of them. But I like the vulnerability that it portrayed.
So Gary, you're in for season 2. Peter, are you in for season 2 of Full Swing with Netflix?
Well, look, ultimately, I'm a golf fan, right? And I'll watch it. And I'm not, listen, the personalities that they had in there and some of the interviews I thought were awesome. I was more reflecting on how they handled the conflict between the PGA Tour and the Live Tour. I also wonder, Brooks showed a lot of vulnerability. And I know he's no longer on the PGA Tour, but let's say player X shows that vulnerability next year where people thought he was unbeatable. Pick a name, pick John Rahm. Let's just say something happens and he opens up like that. Well, that invincibility that helps him in competition, when people are exposed to his vulnerabilities, they're going to have a different attitude about, can he hold it together now coming down the stretch? So I wonder just how much vulnerability they're going to get in the future of those things. It's going to be interesting to watch.
Peter, the one thing I go back to, and I keep deferring to, which I thought was a great perception of what like Live Tour and the PGA Tour. Harry Higgs made a comment. Did you hear this comment? That he said that the problem we have with the PGA Tour is that Liv took all the villains.
Yeah, I saw
Think
that.
about how, and you know what?
Yeah.
He's freaking right. They did. They took all the villains. So we were talking here lately, and I'm thinking, maybe that's the way they should portray the Live Tour. You go down, there's Brooks and there's Phil, Sergio, Bryson, Patrick Reed, your buddy, Ian Poulter. I mean, all of these guys are the guys you rooted for or you hated. They were polarizing. And all of the polarizing guys literally now are there. And we've got very few of them here. And and the PGA Tour needs guys like that to go back and forth. And it's an interesting the perception of that. I never really thought of it. What do you think of that?
That's what the PGA Tour is looking for, I think.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
If you look at the telecast, I'm not going to mention names because that's unnecessary. But it seems like announcers are cheerleaders now. They're everything's great. Everything's this. There's nobody talking about why somebody like, okay, Mito Pereira. The first sign of pressure, in my opinion, is poor decision making. And I don't know that he made a bad decision up until that 18th hole on Sunday.
Right.
And then he made a terrible decision. To me, that was succumbing to pressure. You made a poor decision.
Was that the choice of club off the? Was that the choice of club off the tee, Peter?
Yeah.
Exactly, the choice of club. And then the second sign of pressure is poor execution. Well, that's what happened with the driver. He didn't execute the way he wanted to. But there's nobody telling you that on television anymore. There's no Johnny Millers anymore. And the tour doesn't want that. The tour wants everything pristine, and they want everybody to be nice guys, and they want the PGA Tour to be seen as something that's not real, and you need villains. So Muhammad Ali was the greatest of all time in terms of people loving him and people hating him. Half the people that tuned in wanted to see him get knocked out because they didn't like him. The other half wanted to see him knock out whoever he was fighting because they loved him. But everybody tuned in. And I don't know that you're going to get a lot of people tuning in for nice guys all day long, 24/7. I think, Gary, you make a great point. I think Harry Higgs made a great point. That there's no villains. There's no anti-heroes, only heroes.
I agree. I agree 100% on that. And, I went down the list and I looked and they were all on the PGA Tour. They're all Tony Finau's. They're all really good guys. And then I'm looking for a villain, somebody. And the one that now is the villain, and not even a villain, is the one that's most outspoken, and that's Rory. And Rory is starting to be the polarizing guy, and you can't get a nicer guy than Rory. So that's interesting. We go to the other side, and they're all wearing black hats.
Well, to get an unfiltered, honest opinion, nobody better than Peter and Gary. Thanks, you guys. Hope you enjoyed that episode of Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers. Thanks again to David Feherty for being with us. He's going to be with us again very soon. I hope you enjoyed the tips from Peter. More to come. And these stories, they do not stop. We've got hundreds more in the vault. Remember, like, subscribe, and share at our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@KostisMcCord. And follow us on Twitter, Kostis and McCord. And also a big thanks to our presenting sponsor, Swing U. Go to swingu.com or download the app in the App Store. Swing U is an incredible app, helps you. There's a free version that really helps you with GPS and some great tips, but also the premium version with green reading maps, strokes gain information, and some great things that'll really help your game. Tell you even what club to play, factors in the wind. Pretty amazing app from Swing U. We'll be back with you again real soon for another edition of Kostis and McCord Off Their Rockers.